Wait,
Is this mic even on?
what toxic trait did you have?
Mr. Spaghetti Man. It's skin on skin on skin.
Oh,
Bullshit.
bullshit.
We all know that is a lie.
Hello, and welcome to our second episode of Underqualified, the podcast.
It is Ani and Jay. We are recording at St. Edmunds today.
Thank you to the porter who gave us access to the garden room after Ani's yoga class.
We love you, truly. It's so helpful to have this space just for us to record in.
It's so quiet and nice and peaceful. So, Ani, what are you drinking today?
Oh, surprise, surprise. It's a black Americano for me.
And for me, it's my special mushroom coffee that I got from TK Maxx.
Oh,
It has instant coffee, Brazilian instant coffee in it,
hello.
and then some mushroom powder extract, and I think some other things in it. It's supposed to help with
Oh.
your focus and concentration. So what can I tell you other than that I am locked into this conversation right now?
He is locked in. I will tell you, like, I see him, his energy is here. He is focused and centered.
And with that in mind, Ani, what question are we answering today?
We are asking and answering, does size matter?
Specifically, we're talking about spectacles, status, and selling yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ani, when you think of spectacles, what do you think of first?
Oh, I have to say, I think of a recent event that I experienced. Many people.
She was jet setter.
I was jet
She
setter.
was a airplane princess.
36 hours, and I will say many people do consider this to be quite the spectacle in American culture right now. And it is the Cowboy Carter tour. Beyoncé, live at MetLife.
Oh, where's that, New York?
Yeah, New York, right outside of New York, like New Jersey adjacent.
It's New Jersey.
It's okay, New Jersey adjacent.
You're going to offend so many people by saying that. What was
Yeah.
your favorite part?
Oh,
Wait, who'd you go with? No.
I went with my mother.
Aww.
My favorite woman on earth. Shout out, mom.
Mother-daughter duo.
Mother-daughter duo. It was truly fantastic. And I have to say, that was one of my favorite parts. It was mother-daughter night at MetLife. That evening, Blue Ivy and Rumi came out as well. My favorite part was Blue Ivy's flamenco dance to the song
She
Flamenco.
did a flamenco dance?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. It
As
was
a
so
dancer
good.
yourself, though, was she a good dancer?
She was fantastic. She was fantastic.
Out of 10?
9.
Why not a 10?
Because her mother is a 10.
Oh, okay.
Her mother is a 10 out of 10.
That's
Her,
true.
I think she's following in her mom's footsteps. Absolutely. Her sassy walk all the way up and down that stage. I was like, oh, her.
Oh my God, if you have not seen on TikTok, I have to see it on TikTok or Instagram Reels. If you have not seen the clips of Blue Ivy doing her dance, you just have to. She just how is she? Was she 13?
13.
How is she able to do all that at 13? At 13, I was worried about acne, and she doesn't have a single acne scar on her body.
No, at 13, I'm sorry. At 13, I was just like, Mr. Spaghetti Man. I was just a gangly little tween with the confidence of a 13-year-old. This girl had the confidence of her mother. And I think it just has to do with being the progeny of Beyonce.
Do you think Beyonce has been like training her and placing her?
Yes.
You know, did your parents ever make you do this? Did your parents ever at an event make you walk up to a random person and introduce yourself?
No.
Oh,
My
okay.
parents, I would have said no. Absolutely not.
And they would let you get away with that.
My mother would. My dad also would let me get away with it, and then I would never hear the end of it. Like, you kids are not independent. You need to learn how to speak for yourself. Although I will say, I look back on that and I'm like, Dad, I was 13. As an adult, he was teaching an invaluable life lesson.
Well,
so shout out, Dad.
That's what I think.
Yes.
Because my dad would make me, and my mom too. It
Yeah.
would be both of them together. They'd go, Jay, you have to go talk to them. Go talk to people in the room. And I go, this is starting at like 7 years old.
I was going to say, is that how you've become the person that you are now? You can talk to anybody.
When I was younger, I swear to God that I was easier to talk to adults in like professional settings than to talk to people my own age, which was a crazy difference. But
Honestly.
now I've gotten much better, obviously, at talking to normal people my own
Talking
age.
to normal people.
Normal people my own age.
Unbelievable. I'm like, oh, the charm, the charisma. We went yesterday. We had our launch party here at St. Edmunds. We went to go buy party decorations in the day. And by the time we had left the party shop, he had become like best friends with the man selling us balloons.
He was trying to upsell us though. He tried to sell us. He said, "Can you do it with your lungs to blow up all those balloons?"
He didn't like us at first, I didn't think.
I don't
But
know.
then he liked
It's a
us.
random day in a party shop. I don't know what business you're getting. You better be like milking us for all we're worth. We came in with a budget.
It was a little dusty, the store in there at that
It
moment. It
was
was a little
rough compared to an
quiet, a little
American Party
tired.
City. An
Yeah.
American Party City.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, so back to Beyonce's concert though, and talking about like pushing your kids to do better. What do you think about her bringing Rumi on stage?
A little young.
Because she's 7 or 8.
I think she's a little young to be up in front of MetLife like that. It's not a critique of youth on stage, especially as somebody who grew up on stage ever since a very young age. But to come up in front of a crowd like that in such a charged environment, it was charged with positivity 100%. I do feel like it's something that she's a bit young to be like fully consenting to.
Because it was all for the show.
Exactly. It was for the spectacle. It was for the spectacle.
So then what do you think about celebrities using their children for spectacle?
I think it depends on how they do it. I think it depends on.
Do you think Beyonce did it right?
I do think she did it right with Blue Ivy. I don't know how I feel about her doing that with Rumi.
That's the thing, because have you seen the videos of Rumi the first nights versus the other night, the later nights? So the first night she's like waving, hand like a 7-year-old child. Cutie. She's like waving, she's not really focused. And then like 3 nights later, she's like a princess wave, and then a calm child, a 7-year-old child. I've never seen a calm 7-year-old child in my life.
Me neither.
So I just worry.
I worry too. I worry, does that mean that they're having to train her to possibly inhibit her childlike response to things?
I think it comes from like this pressure to keep raising the bar.
Yes.
Because in our minds, how can you beat the Eras tour and the Renaissance tour, or even Lady Gaga beat performing for like 2.5 million people in Brazil?
In Brazil.
How do you one up that? Because in we're told that we always have to do better the next time. So once you've done like a 3-hour shot, the next thing is almost to start pulling out your chill. Like people loved Blue Ivy when she was on the Renaissance tour. And then suddenly now she's taking her daughter like a year and a half later for this one.
This is a bit of a hot take. I think we have become increasingly obsessed with spectacle, and we place that pressure on celebrities. The more disconnected we become from our local communities and from each other, and the more we're looking for escape from either the mundane aspects of daily life, the shock and horror that we're seeing in the news all the time now. So I think we place a lot of pressures on celebrities to give us everything now, give us a spectacle, give us something that's going to outdo what you've previously given us, because we're looking towards celebrities as a form of escapism.
All right, tell us your outfit and all you did to get dressed up for.
So first I just have to say, my mother and I, we thought we were going to be the most original people in there. We're like, the song Levi's Jeans. It's Beyonce and Post Malone. And they say the line, it's denim on denim on denim. And we thought about it months in advance. We're like, we're going to wear denim on denim on denim, an ode to the lyric. How perfect, how clever. Well, we walk in there. Every single person, denim on denim on denim. Not a single original thought.
Oh, you were all, what was it, Justin Timberlake?
We were all Justin Timberlake. We were all Canadian tuxedoed out. But it was cute. It was fun. It was cowboy.
Okay, I have a question. When you wear that much denim, does it like rub or give you a rash or anything?
No.
Okay, good.
If you saw my picture, I had like baggy denim jeans on. I had like a big denim jacket. But here's a cutie little tidbit that like me and my mom thought was cute, and we didn't even do fully intentionally. I got her a handmade Cowboy Carter denim jacket 2 weeks before.
From Etsy?
Yeah, from Etsy. And like they designed it especially for her. I was so excited, and it turned out beautifully. But she wore that, and I wore a denim jacket that before I was born she had made for my father, and I stole from him at some time, maybe 10 years ago. Again, shout out Dad, thank you. But she made it. She actually sewed like the St. Bart's logo on the back, because we used to go there growing up as like a family every year. And so that was like our place. So I was wearing a jacket like created by my mom. She was wearing a jacket created by me. So it didn't matter that everybody stole our fit, because we had a little unique.
No one could have stolen your fit.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so poetic because it was like
Thanks.
you and your mom and your family, like super sentimental stuff, and then it was Beyonce and her children, daughters and mothers, all performing and having a great time. Was there a lot of daughters and mothers, you think?
I do think so. I think there were a lot of daughters and mothers. There were also a lot of big friend groups. And when I say I was in, we might have all been matching as far as denim goes, but we weren't matching because
there were matchers.
There were matchers, and there were crazy matchers. And here's the thing. I was in those baggy jeans, and we had our, like, my mom had a cutie little denim dress on and this denim jacket. Some girls, they were showing up and showing out. They looked fantastic, but they were cold because I was cold. And I was like, wait, that is denim, but like barely denim. That is barely anything on anything on anything.
Skin on skin on denim.
It's skin on skin on skin. With a hint of denim.
With a hint of denim. A taste, a savor.
Literally, a little like hint of denim somewhere. Like a sparkling water of denim. Do you like musicals?
I love musicals.
I feel like I knew this fun fact about you. Have you ever acted up on a stage?
Oh my goodness. In high school, that was my thing.
After
I hurt my shoulder playing tennis freshman year, I had my academics and I had tennis. And then after that, it was academics and theater. But I had been doing theater my whole life.
Really?
Do you know what my first show was?
No, tell me.
It was in kindergarten.
Kindergarten? You were a baby.
I played a beast in Where the Wild Things Are. Have you read that book?
I love that book and the movie. I didn't realize it was a play.
Well, they can make plays out of anything for children. They make children's books plays out of everything.
That is very true.
But I was a monster. I don't think I have any lines. I think I was actually super pissed that I didn't get the little boy.
Oh,
because I thought I deserved it.
You did. Honestly, I see who you are now, and I'm like, you deserve the spotlight, front and center.
Thank you. I think, I love the attention. I love the spotlight.
I had no clue.
No clue.
I don't know. Anybody listening, like, in case you didn't realize, Jay does, like,
there's two things about me.
Spotlight.
There's two things about you should know. I'm mellow, and I'm really shy.
Mellow and shy. You heard it here first. He just likes to be a wallflower.
A wallflower.
Like, just kidding. He won a gossip award last.
But I think those skills came from theater. My mom reminds me all the time. She's like, talking about what you talked about with my parents pushing me to do things. I always was never afraid to be on stage. I would get self-conscious. You know, I would be like, ooh, is it good? Is it bad? What am I doing? Because I'm a perfectionist.
Oh, yeah.
I would never not go up there and want to perform. I'm always the person that wanted to do it.
That's wildly impressive to me. Like, that is, I do believe it's a part of your core tenet then, because
what do you mean?
That's something that, like, listen, you know, I have a history of performance on stage, but at the age of 5, I remember my kindergarten concert. We sang the Yellow Submarine. Shout out the Beatles. Fantastic. I turned my back to the audience.
What?
While the rest of the class was facing the audience, I turned my back and sang to myself.
That's
because
crazy.
I was terrified.
No, I could not imagine you doing that.
No, I know, but I was like, no, I don't want to be on stage. I don't want to be perceived. Actually, I didn't think about it that deeply. I was 5, but I was like, no, I don't want to do this.
The childhood reflections of be like, I don't want to be perceived. I don't want to be noticed.
Exactly. I'm like, sweep me under the rug. See, this is you. I have to say, so you feel like this has formed, do you think that being a part of musicals has formed you, or have formed your presence in musicals?
So see, I don't sing. I can't sing.
Okay.
It's not one of the talents I possess. Do I believe I can sing? Absolutely. But can I? Absolutely not. That's just one thing. If I could sing, triple threat right then and there. And if I could dance, triple threat right then and there.
Okay, so he is 1/3 of the way there, folks.
So no, but I always loved acting. Because I like putting on different characters and doing the different whole bit. I used to watch these YouTube videos at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I would be up till 3 a.m. watching different YouTube videos of like Meryl Streep on acting, Jennifer Lawrence on acting, all the different techniques, you know, have all the different, the Meisner technique,
I don't.
There's tons of different ways that different people do it.
Oh
do I remember any of them? No.
That's okay.
But I loved learning about it and then doing it.
Okay.
I think it's a fun way to connect with people. Because I think when you have to put yourself in people's shoes and like see them how they are.
It kind of creates empathy.
It creates empathy, but it also creates an awareness of other people's and how they're acting.
I have to ask you. You said you can't sing. But do you ever give concerts to the people in your hall at the Norfolk building?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I give concerts when I put on the music. I put on music when I shower. I put music on when I'm in my room, and I do sing along. And those walls are hyper thin. I just need energy.
Like Pop Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's what I feel like in the shower when you're or doing walking around your room. It just makes everything much more. Like if I have to clean the dishes or I have to clean my room and I can put music on, suddenly my mind forgets that I'm cleaning or doing the dishes,
100%.
and suddenly I'm like, I'm just dancing and having fun.
Literally. Honestly, if anybody ever watched me when I like have music on in my little apartment, I look like I'm having the time of my life. I'm having the best time ever. My hips are going side to side. Like I look like I'm in the club. I'm not in the club. I'm doing dishes. I'm putting away groceries. I'm folding my clothes. But I'm having the best time ever. And I can change based on like one song at a time. Like
Oh, no. So the thing about me, so when we went to California for spring break with Nick and his sister Vivian,
ooh.
I was not allowed to be in charge of the playlist because I just put on the next song that I want. So it
As
would
you
go
should.
from like, reggaeton, Bad Bunny, like boom, 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 to like teardrops on my guitar.
Yes.
And they go, Jay, you have to stop.
I love a good little bipolar music aux. The whiplash. But it's so fun. This is making me think we might need to take a road trip together because I think our aux would be fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. I just put it on, and the next thing is whatever I wanted in that moment. But then I was forced to, on this car ride, sit in the passenger seat because I wasn't allowed to drive. Oh. And then I had to learn how to make a good playlist and cue right songs. So I learned that Rihanna, critical infrastructure of a good playlist.
Absolutely.
She can play any beat, any time, mix any genre. If you want to go from Katy Perry to Drake, Rihanna.
She's the gradient. Rihanna or Beyonce?
Beyonce.
I agree. That's because I'm wearing a Beyonce sweatshirt right now and because of my obvious feelings about the Cowboy Carter tour. I've met Rihanna before. She touched my left shoulder.
No. Start from the beginning. Tell us the story.
But I will say, it happened in the Vogue Studios building in New York. I was 16 years old. My mother was downstairs again. We freaked out over it. And she was in the stall in front of me. And I walked into the bathroom. Nobody else was in there. I'm like, why is nobody else in here? There are a bunch of people in the building. There were people in the stalls, one of which was Rihanna. I am standing there waiting in line. Door opens up. Rihanna comes out. And I freak out. Like, literally, I thought I was going to die. And she was like, well, calm down, baby. Because I'm like, you're Rihanna. You're Rihanna. You're Rihanna. And she was like, calm down, baby. And I'm like, and then her guards came in and was like, ma'am, you need to get out of here right now. You have no business being in this bathroom. I'm like, okay, real. So fair. Best day of my life.
By Rihanna's bodyguards from the bathroom?
Yes.
Then when did you go pee again?
I don't even remember. I probably peed myself. Like, to be so real. I just met Rihanna.
See Rihanna, pee yourself.
As one does.
I think a lot of people can.
Does. But how does your love for being a part of a musical change based on whether you're the star of the show or a background role?
Which one was it? They did Guys and Dolls my freshman year of high school. And that's when I had hurt my shoulder. So I was like, I'm going to be a theater kid now. This is my life now. I've accepted it. I'm no longer going to be an athlete. I'm done.
It's fine.
My life is over.
He plays tennis now, guys. He's back.
I do play tennis, but I didn't play as competitively as I used to. So I auditioned for a role. I knew it wasn't great, but I fully had confidence that I think I should have gotten it. Should I have? Absolutely not. But I believed it. And then the audition things came out and I got ensemble and I emailed my teacher, the director, and said, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this project anymore. Like that
he
moment.
Said, I'm not a team player. He said, I don't do teams. Tennis is an individual vibe.
This is an individual sport. And then the teacher the next day in class for like drama 1 class said, guys, when you audition for things, you
called your ass out. He said, yep. I'm talking to you, Jay.
He looked me straight in the eyes, while he was saying this. He said, when you guys if you're serious about theater, you should, when you sign up to do it, doesn't matter what role you get. All roles are big. There's no small parts. Bullshit.
Bullshit. We all know that is a lie.
And so he looked at me. He said, even if you were not selected as a cast, you should be part of the ensemble. And I think that's going to give you the valuable experience you need. And I said, absolutely not.
As you shouldn't, because I think you just have the persona. You are meant to be center stage or it's not the stage for you.
Exactly. I think try, win,
succeed,
and leave. And then be good.
Win and leave or win?
No, win and stay.
Win and stay.
Lose
and leave.
Lose and
Lose
leave.
and go
Flight.
home. Go big or go home. You're not
go
from
big
Texas,
or
but
go
you are
home.
from the South.
Yeah, I'm super competitive.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody could have gleaned that from this podcast, but he is. He's got that little streak in him. Do you think does that competitive nature bleed into all areas of your life?
Well, it started with tennis.
Okay, it started with tennis.
So tennis made me the most competitive.
Musical
and then from
theater.
there, well, my dad would always say when I was little, he said that I didn't have that killer instinct that you needed for tennis. Because I guess I would give up if I was losing, because I guess I would get so mad that I was losing.
Okay.
Until someone told me that you should be happier at winning than you should be mad at losing. And I took that to heart.
That's a great way to look at it.
And so now when I lose, I always am very calm and respectful. I walk away. I never will say that I never tried or that I didn't care. I always care, and I will always congratulate the person, because I hate when people say like, oh, I wasn't trying, or oh, you beat me, that's okay, like whatever, I wasn't actually playing, and they diminish you. So I will always try my best. My children will never beat me in anything unless they actually beat me.
I love that. I've always also held that same mentality, except I apply it to board games. Like, I know it's slightly less intense than the tennis courts, but I've always said, I'm like, listen, I will never be the parent that panders to their kids during a game of Sorry or Life. I'll be here to win.
No, 100%.
Like, I'm playing to win. When you get good enough at the game, beat me.
And then I also throw a little bit of a tantrum. You can ask Nick or anyone, or don't ask me to play Monopoly. Because if I start losing, I will quit the game in the most respectful, kind, simple way. What I was thinking about earlier when you asked me about the tennis, and I was telling you about why I have this very strict rule about never saying that like I wasn't trying, or that your win over me wasn't real. Even if I felt like I wasn't playing the best or whatever, I always make sure that it's always they won, they beat me, no excuses. It's because this one experience that I had with this ex-friend.
Tell me about it.
Okay, there's a lot of layers to the story. You ready for this?
Okay, I am ready.
So he was this really, really cute guy.
Was there a little...
There was a crush there, but this is when I was younger.
Okay.
So I didn't know what these feelings meant. But I definitely had a crush on him. Oh. He was like that athlete type. He had blonde hair, blue eyes, super hot. And we were friends. And he played tennis as well. There was only like 2 kids at my school that played tennis really well. It was me and this other kid and him.
That surprises me for Florida, to be honest.
Just at my school. I think that was what it was. More kids were around the area, but at my particular school.
Gotcha.
And so we would play tennis sometimes. He was much better than me for a long time.
Okay.
Because I was not as athletic when I was younger, because I was so lanky.
Real.
But then when I started to grow into my size, there was one time we played a practice match. And I won the first set like 6-2. And then he was pissed because he didn't think I should beat him. And I was working really hard. So he says, let's just hit the ball around a little bit. So we hit the ball around a little bit. And he's like smacking as hard as he can, get his energy out. Ruins my momentum winning. Because tennis is all about the mind. It's about momentum and mindset and whatever. Ruins my momentum and then beats me the next set and then wins in the tiebreak that we play after.
Oh.
And then I'm like, well, I was going to beat you until you had your little breakdown. And he goes, no, I wasn't trying at all. And then clearly you lost, because he was really upset. He was an asshole about this.
Sounds like it.
Because he just couldn't, and then he never played me ever again in tennis.
Oh, babe, grow up.
He wouldn't, yeah, exactly.
Grow up.
So that is a core memory on my brain whenever I could be competitive with someone. If you get me a job over me or an application over me or anything, I always try to be the most respectful and say like, you did your best. I may have done things wrong or not have been perfect, but you still beat me, and I respect that. And I will never try to shoot someone's win down because of that kid.
I love that. So thank you to him, because I think that has formed like a really important trait in you then. Because I think that I feel like sore losers are honestly the worst people to play or to go up against in any realm. And it brings me to like this idea that I've been thinking about a lot recently, like, when did it, and not gonna lie, this train of thought is slightly inspired by Timothée Chalamet's recent award acceptance speech, but when did it become like uncool to try? When did it become like frowned upon to be putting effort into things?
I think that was when we were in high school.
Yes, and that's why I get surprised when I see adults who haven't outgrown that. Like, I genuinely know so many people who have not outgrown like, oh no, I didn't try, like I didn't put any effort in, like, no, it's not a big deal, like I'm not even trying, so that's why I failed. It's okay to be seen trying. Do you think that's a Do you think it's like people's fear of being visible?
I think people hate just feeling the criticism. I think when you make decisions and you make bold statements, you want to appease everyone. And so just by saying that you don't care, or that, you know, shitting on other people, and saying things like, I don't really want to do that, or like, they're not really my friend, or oh, I'm their friend because you're their friend and you're my friend, so let's do whatever. I think people just are scared and they get really insecure. And to me, it doesn't register, because when I get insecure, I'm shell back inwards.
Same.
Most of the time, like, I'll become reserved, but it blows my mind when some people shell, or not, they don't shell. They spew outwards. They spew outwards, and they'll say things they don't mean, and they'll act in different ways, and they'll be super pump their chest up and aggressive.
Yes.
And to me, that takes they're just an asshole.
I agree.
And I don't want to be their friend anymore. No. But I realize that sometimes it's insecurity.
Yes, a lot of times it's insecurity, but it's just interesting because I feel like that's not how either of us interact with being insecure.
No. And that's why it's so I can't imagine thinking I'm insecure and then immediately going, I'm going to lash out, or like prove I'm a dominant, or not, or show that I don't care. Yeah. I'm much more likely, and be loud and aggressive about it. Yes. 100%. I will always, I might do sometimes those same things, but I try not to, but like, I will reserve inward.
No, it's just that you'll know if I'm like insecure about something if I'm hibernating for like a week and I'm like, hey, I'm not doing anything because I'm probably criticizing myself at home, please. But I think better to do that than take it out on other people.
I think so. At the end of the day, that's what I appreciate.
I don't need to create a spectacle about all my emotions that I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying?
I create spectacles for myself, though.
Yeah. I'll have my in the mirror. Looking out the window. Okay. Have you had this experience? Like, you're having like an internal crisis, but you're in a car because we're Americans and we know car culture. And you just get to look out the window when it's raining, pretend you're in that music video, and just cry.
Absolutely. I do that normally. I'll look out the window in my room. I'll, like, you know, like the movies where like the person sees outside on the window, people are outside and they're just watching them. Mm-hmm. But they're like, it's not about the watching, it's more about just them feeling their emotions.
It's the looking out wistfully.
I will do that.
Your thoughts are clouding your vision. You don't even know what you're seeing. You're just looking out. Mm-hmm. I support you. I do the same thing. But I have one more question for you. What is the biggest spectacle you've ever been privy to?
I went to the Eras tour twice, and Karol G's Mañana Será Bonito tour once. Those are, I think, the biggest spectacles I've ever been to.
I'm glad I asked. My goodness. Which one was your favorite?
So I loved Karol G's. Mm-hmm. I think it was amazing. And I had a great time with the friends. It was fantastic. Lovely. But I'm a Taylor Swift guy. Mm-hmm. And I went to Taylor Swift in Tampa. And then that was like when I was really supposed to go. Yeah. And then in Spain, the tickets were like extremely cheap. I think we paid $250 for a ticket to the Eras tour. And we had perfect line of sight. And it was the new Arrow after she released Torture Post Department. No me, Nick, and Vivian went. They sat together, and then I apparently got a ticket that was different. So I just sat by myself.
Oh, by yourself? Mm-hmm. Oh, what a cute siblings thing for them to do.
So cute sibling thing.
Damn.
Okay. Well, then on top of that, speaking of me being the main character and the spectacles all around me, I sat in the wrong seat, and then I told everyone around me as they came up, no, you're in the wrong seat.
I support you so much.
And then as the concert was starting, I realized I was in the wrong seat, and I just climbed over the bars to the next seat down.
As you should.
I was in the wrong row.
Oh, well, you know what? You were dealing with trauma in that moment of like, wait, my boyfriend is like sitting with his sister right now, not me.
Jealousy. It was just jealousy clouding my mind, and I just took 100%. It on everyone around me.
Fair enough. And here we are saying that you don't take it out on people around you. Interesting.
I'm a hypocrite.
Interesting take. Okay, I have one final question for you on the topic of spectacles, and athletic ones at that. Do you have any intention of going to Wimbledon this year, given that we're in the UK?
My dad keeps asking me when I'm going to get my Wimbledon tickets. Oh. However, I don't have the money for that. So unless he wants to send me the money, okay, then I'll go. Well, it's not that. It's the train ticket there. It's the tube there. It's the train there. It's the train back. It's the ticket for the thing. It's the drinks you're going to get.
Fair enough.
The food. It's a whole adventure. And I also don't think I'll be here because I'll be in Italy.
When I tell you, before I go on this little moment, first off, I'm so excited for my family to visit. Second, I am like, there's no person on earth more deserving than my sweetheart little brother. Like, he's truly the best human ever. But Give me your feedback. I want to hear what you guys think about the fact that that's what he's doing for his 15th birthday celebration. I want to hear about what you guys did on your 15th birthday because I went to a local restaurant with two of my close friends and my parents. My little brother, Disneyland Paris. Do we think that's
steak.
outrageous?
I think I got steak for my birthday.
I think I probably 15 was probably the last time I got steak on my birthday, and then I went vegetarian that summer.
All right, Ani. So you took a gap year before you went to NYU, right?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us what you did during that gap year?
Well, I did a host of different things, but the reason for beginning this gap year was to actually go a very different route than the science woman in STEM that you see today. I was going to be a professional ballerina.
A ballerina?
Mm-hmm.
You were going to, or you did?
I was.
Tell us more. Don't be so coy. Come on.
Oh, please. Okay. So anybody who knows me, growing up, I've been doing ballet since I was 2 years old. And from
literally
the age,
2 years old.
Literally since I was 2 years old.
How did you stand up and do that?
I don't even know, but I was in those little tutus, little tap shoes. Like, I was a dancer since I was
Your
2.
mom said she's doing that.
Oh, she did. I think before my mom danced growing up, like...
Oh, so she danced too?
Not super seriously in the same, like, balletic sense, but she loved dance. And she's, like, a beautiful jazz dancer. She did a lot of, like, the overlap, like, Bob Fosse, musical theater overlap into dancing. And so she knew the moment she was having a girl, she will be a dancer. So I was enrolled in classes from the age of 2 years old. And from the age of about...
Beyoncé needs to take notes because clearly...
Rumi's there's a way classes. To do this. I'm like, no.
We can tell.
Oh. He said it here first. We can tell.
Okay, back to the story.
Back to me. Since the age of like 11 years old, I was being prepped for pre-professional like ballet. Like that was my
What do you mean pre-professional?
So I was prepped. Okay, actually I phrased that oddly. I was on a pre-professional track for ballet.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
I know. That is where essentially from that age you know that you're aiming for a company contract. Like you are aiming to do ballet as your job. And so a lot of people get this confused because it's not the same as having a dance major or looking to do dance in college or into adulthood. No, this is, you are not going to go to college. Instead, you are going to go at the age of 16, 17, 18 to a big city, New York, Boston, like Seattle, Pacific Northwest Ballet, one of the big companies, and you're going to look for a contract. How you get those contracts is by the age of 10, 11, 12, you are auditioning for their summer companies and then their junior companies.
So did you audition for a summer company?
Yes, I did.
Which company did you do? Or tell us the story of so you clearly had to get into a summer company, right, in order to make this track.
Yes.
So tell us about that process.
I will tell you, okay, first off, the process is horrific. I'm going to tell you.
Break it down for us. We have all the time.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go with two different stories. First, I will say the first summer company that I ever got into was the Joffrey Ballet in New York City. If any Dance Mom fans are out there, you know that this is the one that the girls all competed for. Maddie got the spot.
No!
Yes, I was there the same year as them.
Did you know JoJo Siwa?
No, I did not. She was not a part of Dance Moms at that time.
I'd never seen Dance Moms, so I just know JoJo Siwa was part of it.
Oh, heartbreak. Well, Maddie Ziegler, look her up. She was in one of Sia's music videos. She was there that year.
Did you meet her?
Yeah, I did.
What was she like?
Mean.
She was mean? Oh my goodness.
They were just like they knew they were famous and they knew like so many young girls worshiped them. But anyways, I was at Joffrey.
Did you worship them though?
Of course I did. As a cultural icons, I worship them. As dancers, me and my friends would shit on them so hard. We're like, they suck. Like, why are they even on the show? We were so mean. But like, that's the cutthroat.
But were they bad?
Yeah, they were. Like, as far as ballet goes, they were amazing in like other realms. But what they were doing at Joffrey Ballet, I don't know. They're not ballerinas. They're not trained ballet dancers. Anyways, I digress. I just have to say, like, yeah, it does point to the cutthroat kind of environment of ballet. But the Joffrey Ballet School, that was my first summer intensive summer company. The process of auditioning is horrific. Like you go in January, February, March, and you basically do a tour of auditions for all the different companies, and they are highly ranked, like in order. So there's very much a hierarchy to which summer intensive or company you go to. There's a lot of status. You can get clout depending on which place you go to, and people know. It speaks for itself.
So what were the top 3 when you were doing it?
The top 3 would be School of American Ballet, American Ballet Theater, and Joffrey Ballet.
So third.
Yeah.
But that's top 3. That's fantastic already.
Yeah. No, it was thank you. I appreciate it. I will say the most horrific audition experience was the one that I did never make it into.
What do you mean you never made it into?
The School of American Ballet.
Oh, you never made it into. I thought you said you never made it to the audition. And I was
like, oh no, I made it to that audition, and my God, do I wish I hadn't. No, I'm just kidding.
What happened?
Okay, well, nothing happened to me particularly, but the way that they did it was absolutely horrific. Like you go in there, and it's you, everybody for all these auditions, all the girls, you all get different numbers. You pin them to your chest. You're in like these tights, a leotard, and you go through the sections of a ballet class. So the first section is a bar portion. Mm-hmm. So you're at the bar, they give you a bunch of different combinations, they go around with the clipboards, like taking marks, at being very clear when they're judging you specifically. They stand there, they're writing, they're looking, they'll give you a frown, a smile, whatever.
Is there, when they do that, is it like selling themselves? Are you selling to them, or are they like judging you?
They're judging us, but we are selling to them. You absolutely go with the intent to sell yourself and to market yourself to these companies. Mm-hmm. So the bar section commences, and they don't know your names. They call you out by number 101, 2, 4, 7. Go home. You can leave. And the audition isn't even a third over. Then you go to the center and you do the portion at the center. So it's like legs up, you're doing rond de jambe. There's this whole section. They call out XYZ more numbers. Go home. Whoever's there for the last section, you go across the floor. And then from there, they say to a set group of girls, you can go home. And the rest of you will email you your results in like 2 weeks. So that's how the process of those goes.
Do you know if you're getting the email, whether you actually get it, or is that like you still have to get, you can still get
rejected.
That's so shitty.
Right? So like imagine you make it all the way to the end, and I did. I made it all the way to the end of the SAB one, and then I didn't get it.
SAB is the School of American Ballet.
Yeah.
And that's one that you said you wish you never went to.
Because the audition was my nervous system was like overdrive. Like
so that wasn't normal?
It was normal to do the numbers, the judging, and like sometimes to send home halfway through, but to do it in such an intense way. And the biggest thing was the company that like we kept there. Like the room of girls was all so like it was just so intense. The people at SAB are so very intense. My example for SAB in particular, okay, keep in mind I was like a young little 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, keep in mind she's a 12-year-old girl doing all this stuff.
No, thank you.
Let's reframe that. No, that's a 12-year-old.
Thank you for the reframe. I'm like, why was I so nervous? I'm like, oh, because I was 12. And SAB has the historical reputation. They are actually the school based on George Balanchine, who created the ideal ballet body as we see it today. So they are the reason that ballerinas stereotypically are very thin, very long limbs, short torso, long neck, like small, like delicate head, very delicate features. And so every girl in that room like matched those features. And you just, if there's any part of you that you felt was out of place to a ballet body or a ballet face, you looked out of place, you felt out of place. And I feel like
was it a lot of white girls?
It was all white girls, and I don't even think I realized that as maybe being like an element of my insecurity at the time. But I know like I never necessarily struggled with having to mold my body into a ballet body, but to be a woman of any sort of color in the world of ballet, specifically at the School of American Ballet, is at the time even was still very, you felt out of place. And so
that was the shitty, what was the specific events though, being for SAB at the moment, that got you to feel like this is the shittiest company?
Okay, well,
what did they do?
They didn't do anything. It's their vibe, but like the vibe, It was the vibe overall. It's the fact that like I would go every year with a set group of girls who were also on this track, and they were extremely talented, and we were all best friends in like the best of ways and the worst of ways, you know, as girls at those age are prone to be. But I mean, none of us ended up getting in, which totally fine, but we all just there was something I can't even pinpoint, but there was something about the energy of that room
It
that
was
left
their
us all
eyes.
feeling
It was the clipboard, the way
it
they
was
stood.
exactly. Even at the other places, they had clipboards, but they would say, okay, well, you'll hear back from us in a few weeks. Like, they wouldn't send you home midway through. They didn't look at you with this sense of disdain, like, what are you
Oh
even
my
doing
God.
here? And all of us, we had worked really hard. We were all like, we'd been training for a long time and had a certain amount of natural talent. And they treated us as the most, like, on the topic of last week, maybe not just men are replaceable. They treated us girls as so replaceable. And it was a feeling more than an action.
So you really believe that you were replaceable then?
Oh, 100%. My entire ballet career, I just was like, yeah, I have to work harder and I have to do better because they could replace me with any one of those girls.
So then what did you do to make yourself not replaceable? What did you do to like stand out and sell yourself? Like any tactics, any secret techniques that you did?
No secret techniques. I will say genuinely head down, work hard. That was, I feel like there are two elements of working in that sort of atmosphere unless you're one of like the ungodly, like born perfectly brilliantly talented people. A, be born with a certain amount of natural talent, and then B, as far as ballet goes, just be willing to do your 500 hours to become that master. You know, like the saying in like the book where it's like you have to do 500 hours of something and you can, if you do those hours, like you will be a master at it. It was that. It was like, no, just go in, day out, train, make your whole life it. And I think that's the type of thing. It's why you see it in ballerina so often. Like, it causes burnout at a very young age, especially if you're doing this, if you're on this path from the age of like 10, 11, and you're hitting those 500 hours before you're 18. Like,
that's toxic.
It's toxic. It feels a little toxic. Not to quote Britney Spears on this day, but
okay. But then my favorite question then to ask you would be is, what toxic trait did you have when you were a ballerina?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. Okay.
Because you know, I know you're self-reflective, so you know what toxic traits you had at like 11.
Oh, 100%.
What was your go-to signature style?
Okay, my go-to toxic trait, I think, didn't even appear. It appeared because of dance and for dance, but it didn't appear in the studio. It was the way I interacted with the world outside of it.
What would you do?
I think, I was a menace. At the age of 12, 13, so I'm in middle school, right?
The worst years.
You're already at like menace behavior. But when I tell you, I had fantastic friends. Some of my best friends to this day are the girls that I went to middle school with, not the girls that I went to ballet with, but the girls that I was at school with. And they can tell you now still, if they wanted to hang out, if they wanted to do anything, like if they invited me to a birthday party, like come out to a movie with us, I'd be like, are you kidding me? Do you think I have time for that nonchalant, like foolishness? No, I have dance. Like, I will not be attending something that's not serious about my future for dance. Go to school. I remember getting homework for math class, science at the age of 12. I would look my teachers dead in the face and be like, Annika, why didn't you do your homework? I said, because it doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to college. I'm going to be a dancer. So I don't need to do my homework. They said, honey, this is legal. This is legal.
This is what the biological scientist geneticist is saying right now.
No, literally, like when I tell you, I remember getting called to the principal. I literally look at them. I'm like, well, I'm not going into anything related to school. And now when I have to like in my small little town, when I see those teachers, they're like, what are you doing now? I'm like, oh, I'm actually doing research at Cambridge in STEM. And they're like,
the fuck?
Interesting, because we couldn't get you to open a textbook. Interesting, because you told us you were never going to college and now you're here trying to pursue highest education.
But that tells so much about you, because you clearly didn't care to do the schoolwork, but you did it. You learned it all. You never fell behind.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. That again, lots of shout outs. Boring to you, I think. It was boring. It was boring to me. It was not stimulating enough for like, I don't know, a little ADHD mind. Like I needed my mind to feel like I was having to like work hard at something to care about it. And like school did not feel like I was working hard at it. It just like, I don't know, it just was on autopilot.
Do you think it like that's like 12, 13 years old, like you were you were acting like this because you really just wanted to be like a star, or was it because you wanted to
Mm.
work hard? Why did you act that way?
Low-key, I think it's because I wanted to work hard, A, and I think B, it's because of how the girls within the dance studio, how we would all act with each other. We would watch these like ballet movies and like documentaries and stuff, and we would see the professional ballet dancers like acting a certain way about like ballet is life, like this is the only thing you'll do in your life. So we were just like trying to imitate that.
Did you think it was like a confidence, or do you think it was an insecurity approach?
I think it was
Like,
I think it was weirdly, it was like a hunger. Like I just wanted to I wanted to be okay,
so
I
you felt
wanted
like you
to
were doing enough then?
I felt
My
like I
question
was
was kind of like, did you act that way to project and like fake it till you make it like that you were doing enough, or you believe that you were doing enough?
No, I believe that I was doing enough, but I wanted to be in that striving. Like I was so in awe of those ballerinas. Like I wanted to be in that flow state. I wanted to be in that all-encompassing vibe. Like I feel like there's one thing that I've really noticed about my personality as I've gotten older, no matter which profession or like interest that I'm pivoting towards, like I can't I do have a little bit of a tendency to let it swallow me whole, right? So
Icon.
thank you. I'm like, it's a good and a bad thing. So like if I'm into like ballet at the time, so ballet was my path, I'm like everything else means nothing to me. This is the only thing and I will dedicate all my time to it probably until I burn out. Then even thank God I haven't done this to a burnout stage, but like with yoga, I'm like through in COVID, that's when I got really into the yoga. But it wasn't enough for me to do yoga a few times a week, really love it. I was like, no, I'm going to do it every day. I'm going to become fantastic at it. And then I'm going to go get my teacher's certificate. Same with like academia. It was like, no, it can't be like I like science and biology school. It's like, okay, I'm going to actually get this degree and then I'm going to make sure I'm doing undergrad research through the summer, through the school year. And then I will go and get my master's or my PhD in this field. Like, no matter what, like, I have an issue with being at like a chill middle
Do you think
ground.
that's an issue though?
I think most of the
Where
time,
are the
no.
problems come? If you're talking about like it's an issue, then what is the problem that you identified when you think that way?
Okay, so I think it's the fact that, listen, we're like 23, 24 right now. We're little babies.
You're 24. I'm 23.
Okay, no need to make it so clear. Make me feel so damn old. We said 30 is old, right? Okay, 27, that's when the bones go to dust. Come on.
Okay, old grandma, continue.
Okay, me and my cane. I have an imaginary cane with me recording today in the garden room. Um, I think the issue is with that type of personality is at this age and at just like throughout life, circumstance is going to force you to pivot and circumstance is going to force the career you identify with your interests. Those are going to change. That's a natural part of life. And if your identity is so wrapped up in what you're doing and not who you are, when those things inevitably change, you feel like you are losing a sense, like you're losing a part of your personality every time you pivot. So I feel like even right now, like kind of like choosing not to go a PhD route immediately, I'm like, who am I then if I'm not going this intense science route immediately? Like I feel like I'm losing a part of myself, but
What,
I'm not.
what do you mean losing a part of yourself?
Like I'm losing a part of the way I identify to the outer world at this moment. Like I came into this year like no, like what I do is blah 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 science. Like I'm doing crop science. This is my passion, my purpose. And like if you were to ask like what's up in my life, it's like yeah, I'm going to Cambridge for like biological sciences. But now if you were to ask what's up in my life, I'm like I don't know. I don't know. Everything's uncertain and crazy. Even though I do kind of know, I do know. I have like a very like I have so many other things outside of that. But because in my own brain, my identity was what I'm doing, not just who I am and the things that make me up. Like it, I feel like I'm at a loss for words almost.
So what would you tell your youngest self when she started ballet, like the pre-professional track, based on like what you just talked about? What would you tell your younger self?
I would say well, I would first say that I wouldn't change a thing about the journey because I think it taught me so much about who I am as a person and it just like has shaped who I am today. But what I would tell my younger self is you are enough as you are and stop taking everything so seriously. You're going to miss out on fun. things, fun parts of being a teenager. I didn't go to a single school dance. No. I said no, I have ballet. I didn't go, like, I would turn away like family vacations or days out on a boat or like friend birthday parties because I was like, no, I have dance, and like to be taken seriously I have to skip those things. And I would say, Ani, girl, it's not so damn serious. So go on the boat.
You were then like overcompensating because you believed that you need to be doing more than you were doing. Earlier when you said that you didn't feel like you had to overcompensate like to that external toxicity.
I felt like, okay, well, I felt like I was doing enough by turning down those things.
So like that's kind of meta. It's like you were doing it, but like you didn't feel like you were overcompensating because it was already overcompensating.
Exactly.
And you accepted that you were overcompensating logically, so it wasn't a subconscious thing.
Exactly. I was like, yes, I'm overcompensating, but that's what it takes.
That's what it takes.
That's what it takes to be a pro.
Okay, so then what would you tell yourself at 18 then when you went to go be a professional ballerina?
I would say, girl, this year's gonna turn into a fun travel time, and get excited because that will change who you are as a person too, and for the so much better. I'm like, it gave me people skills. So
there you go.
Yeah.
A scientist that knows how to dance and talk to people.
Oh, thanks. You make me sound like a triple threat.
I think you're a triple threat. I just want to hear you sing. That's
no, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. I mean, honestly, we could put on a very fun, like, what are those things? Silent discos. Me and you should put on a silent concert.
Where it's just silent.
Yeah, we're just silent. But like we're just up on stage.
Just imagine the songs. We're just
okay. Wait, we should just lip sync karaoke. That's what I'm hearing. Karaoke night.
I'm currently lip syncing.
Okay, is there karaoke in Cambridge? Anybody local? Let me know.
We'll figure this out.
I've been known to karaoke with the best of them.
All right, Ani. Today we've talked about spectacles, status, and stelling yourself. So the question really is, though, does size really matter?
You know, Jay, I'd love to parse it out by category, but I do think when it comes to ballet, when it comes to men, when it comes to spectacle and show, absolutely it does.
Yeah, I've always heard that it's not, the size of the soldier, but how you use it.
Oh, I could not agree more.
And I think that has some truth to it, but let's be honest, size is very important to a tip. Important. And after that, it becomes messy and a problem. Lightning round. Over underrated, Ani. Your experience at the Cowboy Carter concert.
Underrated, even though it's highly rated. Over underrated, being a good sport.
It's so underrated. People need to be better losers. Over underrated, dance moms.
Overrated as dancers, underrated as a show. And lastly, Jay, over underrated, guys and dolls.
Completely overrated. It's way too old and boring. And that's a wrap on today's coffee chat. Thank you so much for lending us your ears, your time, and letting us pique your interest.
To all of our listeners, thank you so much for listening to Underqualified the podcast.
Follow us on Instagram at oversharing.underqualified and TikTok at underqualified.thepod.
For more chaos, hot takes, and unsolicited advice, don't forget to listen weekly on Spotify and YouTube. We'll see you next week. Same time, same questionable opinions.
Bye.
Bye.